Okay, so we are live. Hopefully, we have those that are here to join us available. We're going to add Coach Asai to the call. So here we go. Let's invite Coach Asai. And he should be able to call in. Coach Asai, if you could call in. I sent you an invitation, so all you'd have to do is accept the invitation on your side of the screen. I hear you. There you are. Coach Asai, you can hear me?
Yep. How you doing?
Okay, very good.
Anybody else in there?
We have some here already part of the call, and for those that cannot make it, we're going to record the session and have it available for them to view later.
Well, welcome, everybody.
All righty, so I'm going to share my screen with everyone. And so I'll be able to present to everyone. Okay, let's start our slideshow. Okay, Coach Asai, are you able to see the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I can see this. Who do we have
Very
on?
good.
Who do we have on here on this coaching session, Coach?
We don't have a live interaction opportunity with those on the session, but if I had to check on the session, of course, I want to welcome everyone that's here. And let's see. Okay, so it looks like we got Tracy joining us, Kawi joining us, Lej joining us. We got you, Coach Asai. We got a bunch of others confirmed with me that they'll be joining, and also others that have been invited. So we'll let them join. And for those of us joining us on this broadcast, if you want to ask a question, you can go in and type in a chat, and I'll be able to see that chat and see your questions. So the purpose of this broadcast is to provide an orientation for our GamePlan Academy 2019 and 2020. Let's see. Coach Asai, are you able to see the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I can see it. I'm actually what I'm doing, I'm text messaging people that I have on my phone to see if they can get onto this, at least to watch it. So yeah, so I do see the presentation. If I do text them, do you want me to have them video hangout call you, or do they have the
You should be able to send an invite on your screen. You should be able to invite people that did not receive an email. It looks like Joanne Moyai didn't get the email, or if she, let me double check if she's on. I just got a text from her a minute ago.
Yeah, I know. That's the people that I'm actually texting right now.
Okay, very good. And I'll try and let me stop my share screen and try and invite some people too. Let me try and invite Joanne one more time. Okay. Tell Joanne. Sent email to her Yahoo. Okay. And let's see. Okay, so I'm going to get started, Coach Asai.
Yeah.
If that's okay with you.
That sounds good.
And for those of you that are watching this via recording, of course, hopefully you skipped through these first few minutes and got past the logistics part and are now ready to start. Now I am ready to start. We are ready to start the presentation for the orientation for GamePlan Academy 2019 and 2020. Coach Asai, I just want to confirm you can see the PowerPoint.
Got it.
Got it. Very good. Okay, so real quick introduction to Education First. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Been helping over 6,000 families in Hawaii, students and their families since 2003. And it's very important I explain that we are not a recruiting agency. We do not promise college scholarships. We don't have a profile where you can put your picture and your information online. We do not do video highlight production and help you create a highlight video. And we do not have an email communication system where you can email college coaches. And I think this is important to start our orientation so that everyone understands what Education First can do and what we do not do, and specifically what GamePlan Academy is about. Real quick introduction to Coach Asai and myself. Coach Asai, over 20 years of experience as a college counselor, admissions officer, assistant dean of admissions, college football coach, business, bachelor's and master's degree. Myself, over 14 years of college counseling, Division I football player like Coach Asai, former high school coach, football coach, and official. Did some years of refereeing, bachelor's in psychology and master's in psychology. And we do have a group of game plan coaches that are also part of our team, and they're also former college athletes. So real quick, what are college coaches looking for in potential recruits? And really what they're looking for are players that can ball, players that are really good, players that excel in all areas of their sport-specific position skills, players that are at the top of their team, their high school, their conference. So they're looking for players that are athletic and that can play really well. Coaches are looking for players with academic skills and leadership skills also, because coaches want someone with good character, good leadership skills, and coaches are looking at the holistic player overall, athletically, academically, and leadership-wise. Athletic skills are pretty simple. Coaches want size, speed, strength. They want athletes that are athletically built. They have to be very good at their position, so have specific technical skills that make them outstanding in their position. Tactical skills, understanding the game, understanding their position responsibilities, their role in their sport as a team. Of course, stamina is important as an athlete, physical fitness, conditioning. Sport-specific psychological skills are important, being able to be resilient, have that drive, that determination, that competitive fire, that spirit to win games, having game awareness, and not just being a fast athlete, but having speed of play. Your speed in the game should be quick. Academic skills, core classes, GPA, what are your math, science, social studies, English grades, your overall cumulative GPA, that's important, SAT, ACT, opportunities available. Coaches want to see, players that can get into the honors, AP classes, if available, participating in school extracurricular activities, study skills, being able to contribute as a working in groups, quality academic producer. And then the leadership skills, college coaches want student athletes to come to college with time management skills, be able to have good decision making, contribute to the college campus, to the team, be able to follow rules and policies, procedures, have appropriate behavior, critical thinking, problem solving, work ethic, goal setting, perseverance, be flexible and adaptable. So I say these three main skills that college coaches are looking for, and that's the purpose of GamePlan Academy. GamePlan Academy develops these skills, these academic skills, these athletic skills, these leadership skills for a select group of high school student athletes for present day, meaning right now, for those of you entering high school as a class of 2020, and for those already in high school, just finishing your freshman year, and you're going into your sophomore year as a class of 2019. These skills will then also help you when you transition to college. And all of these skills, especially the leadership skills, that's going to help you transition into career success. So really, Coach Asai, if I could have you jump in and maybe just summarize the importance of developing athletic, academic, and leadership skills, and how GamePlan Academy has been designed to develop these skills for student athletes and to include families, moms and dads, so that these skills can be fostered and developed over the next 2, 3, 4 years of high school.
Yeah, so one of the greatest things about this program, just to first of all, welcome everyone who's listening. Going forward for this new academic year for you folks, one of the great opportunities for all of you to recognize that GamePlan Academy is built with this idea to support the academic and the physical and leadership part of their student athletes' careers, because it takes three of these components to really get into college. Why most college coaches would like an opportunity to recruit people. And so from my personal experience, if you have those three types of things, most college coaches really love the opportunity to build off of them. So GamePlan Academy is going to be a nurturing opportunity for most of you, particularly with the academic section and helping reinforce the things that they need to do in the classroom relative to what you guys are saying at home. So we have a timeline that we normally walk these kids through it. We like to make sure that each kid is actually meeting those types of objectives all through the entire academic year. And then from the physical standpoint,
anybody on delayed flight 338 to Detroit, they are boarding at gate C3. Also delayed flight.
Yeah, from a physical perspective, what we try to do is help them recognize that you got to hit benchmarks. You got to hit benchmarks for your development, because it's one thing to academically hit benchmarks. It's another thing to physically hit benchmarks. And some of those things we'll outline that for you in this GamePlan Academy. And the third thing is on the leadership side, it's real important to be on top of not having, and I say this loosely, but I'll say it in describing it this way. Reducing and eliminating the baby brain of, and then it's something that's evident when you're 8th grade becoming 9th grade, but now it's time to kind of like strap up the seriousness about developing leadership skills that would support them in communicating effectively, and as well as being able to think more matured about what's their next step. And the classes that they'll go through, they will be able to learn from it. Definitely is going to be reinforced by people that we invite to these leadership classes that would help, special guests, people that I know in the state, people that have been doing these kinds of programs to support building of people. So those are the three things that GamePlan Academy will help you with.
Thank you, Coach Asai. I appreciate that. And I know with your experience working with adolescents, high school students, and families, a lot of times you work with them in their senior year and they call you up and say, hey, Uncle, Coach Asai, you can help me talk to coaches, get on the college recruiting radar, and see if I can earn a scholarship. And a lot of times, by the time they're a senior or even a junior in some situation, it's too late to develop these skills.
Yeah, and normally, those kind of calls come in about their senior year, and if they ask me those kinds of questions when they're younger, like what it is now, and with some of these young men that is now being interested in getting on the radar, it's an easier way of developing a plan for them. So, but these calls do come in, and they come in at the probably the last game of their season, where they don't know where they're going. They thought that college coaches are going to be waiting for them, and high school coaches going to push them to college coaches, and unfortunately, that's not happening. And sometimes it is, depending on what you have done, what the student athlete has done to be effective on the field and in the classroom. But most parts it's not, and so they're not prepared. They're not prepared to be flexible, and so we do not want to be a part of that kind of plan or procrastinate our way of getting an opportunity. So what we're doing here with this program is that we're catching them earlier. We want to be sure to work with your sons that way, to give them the heads up as to what's next, and so look forward in helping that way.
Thank you, Coach Asai. I appreciate you saying that. And let me just say, in addition to avoiding that senior year where some players and families are expecting a scholarship, but it never comes, that's one challenge that Coach Asai just addressed. The second challenge that I want to address is there are some players that are receiving scholarship offers, and I want to congratulate Sojay. Sojay got a solid scholarship offer from the University of Michigan, and he is an 8th grader, Coach Asai, entering his freshman year, class of 2020.
Yes. He's playing on the varsity at Kahuku High School, and on behalf of Education, we're really happy for him for being able to get on the radar and then obviously get a scholarship. But I just wanted to mention one thing before going forward, if I may. This might be the group that we could actually share this with. So here's a question that most people ask themselves, right? And they ask themselves this thing about how is it possible for somebody to get a scholarship from a very young age and never show themselves yet on a varsity level. So I just want to let you guys know that that particular offer is all the stars and the moons aligned for that, and that's not common. Okay, and so I also want to suggest too that Sojay prepared himself and he was able to expose his talents earlier on. And then secondly, I just wanted to say that he was prepared physically to actually do it. And he had the appropriate physical abilities to put himself on the map by him going to different types of combines, different types of camps. So I just want everyone to know that this is a special case. Michigan definitely was lucky. And I would like to say that there's a percentage of being lucky too, as an athlete, to receive something, because Michigan is definitely, and don't take it wrong, everyone, is taking a chance at actually getting someone like him. He may not do as well, but they have the opportunity to go yes or no at the end, which is back in in the senior year of 2020, to say yes or no. We can talk about that more in later, but I just want everyone to know that, can that happen to my
son? Cleveland flight 5121, they're boarding at gate 1.
Can that happen to my son and receive something like that? And the answer is yes or no, depending on what moons and stars are aligned. So we can talk about that more thoroughly when we get into the the academy program with you. It's not too late. And the best thing about this program for 2020 and 2019 is that you guys have some time to develop a plan to get on that radar, then get a scholarship similar to Sojay. I have incredible belief that all of you guys who's listening to this call and your children will have an opportunity. It's just a matter of where they're going to be given an opportunity and how to actually navigate those processes. And we are there for you to support that.
Thank you, Coach Asai. So just to summarize, so Sojay in the right place, in the right time, he made some commitments to develop himself athletically, doing well in playing football, in his sport, being at the camp. Coach Jim Harbaugh was at the camp. There's some motivations behind the University of Michigan offering scholarships to young athletic players, quarterbacks. And with all of these things in alignment and happening and a little bit of luck and a little bit of chance and everything adding up, a great opportunity for Sojay. And
correct. Definitely, Coach Kavika. And just one small tidbit real quickly, and that is when you map this down into this entire thing, whether Michigan is doing a 90% of marketing for their university and 10% of the opportunity of having the really athlete doing it, I just want you to know that and being able to have the skills, ability, etc., to do this on a college level. I mean, there's a lot of years ahead of him. And there's the academic portion that needs to come in, and so who knows if he's going to get that 3.5 or higher type of GPA. You know, so there's a lot of road to walk on with this, and this particular experience in getting Sojay an opportunity is such a great thing for this side of the island, which we reside on, the North Shore, as well as the state of Hawaii, to getting those kinds of exposure from big universities. It really helped to have Tony Tuioti be a part of the football operations there at Michigan, who knows Sojay, who has an awareness of his ability. But there's a lot of road to walk on that one. And so I just want everybody to know that we're so happy for Sojay, and how that affects you as a student athlete and as parents having student athletes. There's a lot of road to walk on for you guys, and opportunity is going to be made available if you follow a plan, if you follow a particular plan and sequence. So,
thank you, Coach Asai. And that leads me into the second challenge of going through this process over the next few months and years for the class of 2019 and 2020. And that is not taking the approach of wait and see and just playing high school football, going to school and waiting and seeing who comes by and offers a scholarship. What coach is going to walk by and offer a scholarship? And I mentioned wait and see as a challenge because you may get an offer from a school that is not particularly on your top 5 list. Now, for Sojay, I'm not sure if Michigan's on his top 5 list. If it is, that's great. But what if it's not? The challenge is, do you just end up with whatever you get and you're happy with the schools that did offer you? Or are you going to create a strategic plan to go after your top 5 schools? So one challenge is not being offered by the end of your senior football season, like Coach Asai mentioned earlier. The other challenge that I would like to throw out there is, what if the schools that you're interested in does not offer you a scholarship? How do you strategically plan and attack on going after the schools that you would like to attend? So those are the 2 things I just wanted to bring up, and how you being on the call today and participating in GamePlan Academy can help you create a plan to address those 2 challenges. Continuing on in our PowerPoint presentation, we'll bring that up. Okay, Coach Asai, I just want to confirm you can see the PowerPoint?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so moving on, what is the college recruiting radar? If some of you on the call or broadcast today doesn't understand the college recruiting radar, real briefly, college coaches have a list like this in their office at their college campus, and the list is basically a list of players, and the players are listed by their class and their position. So here you'll see quarterback radar, a list of 2017 players, 2018 players, 2019 players, 2020 players. At the bottom of the radar list, coaches pretty much total up how many players do they have on their radars. out of hundreds and thousands of players throughout the country. They usually put down how many players they're looking for the scholarship. If you can see here are the 2017, they're looking to scholarship 2 players. On the 2018, they're going to need 3 quarterbacks. 2019, they're going to need 2 quarterbacks. And 2020, they might need 3 quarterbacks. Offered, even though they only need 2, they're going to offer 5 because not all 5 players that they offer are going to commit. So one may commit, and then they need 1 more because they need a total of 2 quarterbacks for that graduating class for that year, and so forth and so on. So they need 3. They offered 3. Only 1 committed. They're short 2. This side is the linebacker radar. So list of linebacker names by class, how many on the radar, position needs, how many offered, how many committed, how many more they need to commit with the difference. So this is the college recruiting radar. So for athletes, student athletes in high school, and for families that want to support student athletes to play at the next level, which is college sports, college football, you need to get on the radar. By getting your name on the radar, that's the first step towards progressing to an opportunity to earn a college scholarship to play sports in college. So very important you understand the college recruiting radar. Now there's 450 different college football programs. So just for college football, there's enough programs out there that with the right fit to match your athletic, your academic, and leadership skills, there's opportunities out there to play at the next level, to play college football. Getting on the radar is the first step. But then, like I mentioned earlier, how do you strategically create a plan to attack the top 5 schools on your list? So if you're looking at some of the top 5 schools, I'll just throw out some school names: the University of Hawaii, Stanford, UCLA, Alabama, Notre Dame, Florida, Weber State, Washington, Oregon. Whatever the top 5 list of schools on that you are interested in and would like to pursue from Division I, or if you're Division II, III, NEIA, junior college, whatever levels, you want to put together a plan to attack those schools. And some other things you might consider is the geography, climate, culture, diversity, the majors, class sizes, and so forth. So there's 450 different college football programs. There's opportunities out there. So Education First works with players and families to develop a solid college recruiting game plan to get on the college recruiting radar. And the way we help families and players get on the radar, as we mentioned earlier, we need to develop athletic skills, academic skills, and leadership skills so that you can get to that point. Now, if we look at the class of 2019, you have 25 months to basically get on the radar and hopefully be offered a college scholarship from a coach that's interested in you and offering you the opportunity to play, sports at that coach's university or school. So you have 25 months to get on the radar, and that's basically up until August of your junior year. That's 25 months from today. So your clock is ticking if you're a class of 2019. You have just about 2 years to get on the radar, and then signing day will be 31 months from today. That's going to be February of 2019. For those of you that are freshmen this fall, entering your freshman year, class of 2020, you have 37 months to get on the college recruiting radar and be offered a college scholarship, in which 43 months from now, you would be at signing day, February of 2020. Now, if you look at this, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because time goes by fairly quickly when you consider the college coach that needs to see you, the college coach that needs to know your name, needs to have interest in your name, the college coach has to look at your play, how well are you in your position, the college coach needs to kind of know your grades, they kind of need to know your leadership skills, your what kind of person you are, And then they need to reconfirm that by talking to high school coaches and other coaches. Then they need to reconfirm that again to see if you're consistent. You need to see more film. You need to see more transcripts, more grades. Then they have to look at the competition. The coach might like you, but he might like 20, 30 other guys in that same position. So the coach has to look at those other players also. So when you think about it, all of this vetting, all of this confirming, all of this reevaluating, you have 25 months for 2019, and you got 37 months for 2020. Coach Asai, could you elaborate and share how time is critical in the process of developing athletic, academic, and leadership skills within this time frame?
Oh yeah, I mean, if your son has not created, a sense of urgency right now about the next 4 years from now or 3 years, approximately 37 months, if you're 2020 grads, yeah, they got to start spinning that thought in their mind that 37 months is going to come quickly, and being able to understand how to put together that plan from freshman year all the way into the senior year, and then chip at all those parts so that you can position and prepare yourself to obtain an opportunity to get on the radar, and of course to get a scholarship, and that's the end goal. You got to start yesterday. Start yesterday, just so, because many people, as we have seen, or at least a few people rather, those are the special young men like Soljay. They're recruiting people in the 8th grade to be in a 9th grade scholarship class. So, does this young people need to start thinking about how to chip at that and get an opportunity? Yes. And that starts with being able to surround yourself with people that know how to do it for you, and has a network ability, has the knowledge, has the experience in creating that plan for you. And we're confident that GamePlan Academy can support it, and that coaches within Education First can support this whole idea to support you guys in the desire of getting what you want. So yeah, you got to start quick. I mean, school's starting next week, so most of you guys are probably at this moment, all right, we're hitting the ground running on this one. So create a better mindset for yourselves. So.
All right, thank you, Coach Asai. So definitely looking at the time frame, if you are interested in playing college at the next level, playing sports, time is ticking, starting yesterday, having that mindset that things need to be moving forward is very important in your college recruiting game plan. So let me jump into our program. So this is 9th grade program, but we're combining the class of 2019 with our class of 2020 program. So this is both for 9th grade this fall and 10th grade. We're providing 6 college athletic, academic, advising sessions, and we'll also have leadership skills development also. The first session is scheduled for Sunday, August 21st at 6:00 p.m. And the session will be titled Begin with the End in Mind. And the emphasis of this session is for student athletes and their families to know their why, or to know their purpose, to understand what do they really want, what are they striving for, what is important, what is valuable for the family. And of course, all these sessions, families are encouraged to attend, parents and the student athlete. In this first session, we're going to cover academic skills to help players and their family project forward. By the 11th grade year, by your junior year, college coaches want to see your GPA. They want to see your ACT, your SAT. They want you to be able to have good study skills, and your study skills will be reflective based on your GPA and your test scores. And some of the things that we're going to emphasize in this session is understand how to use a watch, a timer, scheduling your day, your week, your month, your semester, your quarter, having your planner to schedule your goals. Like, we're encouraging families to plan out their next 20 to 30 months, and that's important. And Cornell note-taking, the importance of sitting in front of the class, developing good relationships with teachers, be early, stay late, communicate with teachers. Those are some of the things we're going to cover on the first session to develop academic skills. Athletically, we're going to start projecting, how tall do we project student athletes to be by their junior year, weight, speed, vertical, their bench, power clean, deadlift, setting goals to be an all-star in the conference, all-star in the league, all-star, all-state, and then you want to be the top player in your position. And those are some athletic goals and achievements that should be set now as a freshman and as a sophomore, so that by the time these athletes are in their junior year, they have this mindset, yes, I'm going to be this tall, this fast, this strong, and these are the goals that I want to accomplish by the time I'm a junior. Leadership skills in this first session, we're going to talk about being different, being special, being unique, being part of the 2% that will verbally say to the universe through words of affirmation that I commit to be some of the top 2% high school football players in the country. I want to be the top 2% high school football player in the country, yet not just in Hawaii, not just in the Western region, but the commitment to be the best in the country. Manifesting your thoughts, the law of attraction, saying things to the universe, saying things to yourself and your family, writing it down, who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, your values, your principles, what's important to you, why you're doing what you do every day. When you wake up out of bed, you walk to school, you walk to your workouts, you go to practice, basically understanding who you are. And then some of the homework that we're going to have student athletes and families take away after the first session is complete some worksheets, complete a dream board and vision board, and then monitor themselves in the first month, 2 to 3 months in school. And Coach Asai, you want to elaborate on that first session?
Oh yeah, you bet. Ladies and gentlemen who's listening to this, I want you all to know that this particular first session is so critical in the development phase of helping their minds. Hold on really quickly. Hold on really quickly.
Coach Asai's got some noisy keiki in his home, so he's gonna go regulate, which is all good.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I've got some ukus over here that are talking a little too loud. But I wanted to say that this first coaching session is so critical to create a foundation. Yeah. And so what Coach Kavika did is he outlined the most important part of it, which is just that foundation of academic and foundation of athletic, and then of course the foundation of being able to create a mindset and goal about yourself. And that right there, this particular session is worth the amount of money if you were to pay for it, the whole thing. Because what we're going to do is be able to draw the big picture and say, this is what you're doing. And if you don't do it this way, then really, your steps is going to be taking a little too long. So you got to create that foundation now. And so that particular coaching session, I really like. It's one of those things where it's sort of the come to Jesus type of presentation, where you gotta as a young man, we gotta write down what you really want, and be honest with what you want, and so and what you need in your life. So I'm excited about that first session to come up on August 21st. Those of you that are able to be there, we look forward to serving you then.
Now, the sessions, just to elaborate, are a combination of online sessions, something like what we're doing tonight or this afternoon today. The difference being it would be more interactive. So having the opportunity to communicate back and forth with those in a group setting, participating in the session. Today's broadcast is more of a direct broadcast with Coach Asai and myself facilitating this presentation. But in these sessions via online, it would be interactive. And then some of these sessions will be face-to-face, like in a cafeteria or in a conference room or visiting a lecture hall or classroom at a college campus or taking a tour. So a combination of online and face-to-face presentations for these workshops and these sessions. For session 2, Sunday, October 16th, building a map, putting a plan together. I mentioned this earlier, is having a strategic plan for each student and their family to have an academic plan, setting their goals and their achievements and where they want to project themselves, have an athletic plan, developing that roadmap to get to that height, that weight, that strength, that speed, having a leadership plan to develop that leadership skills so that coaches can differentiate a recruit like someone from Hawaii and a recruit from Texas, California, Florida, Washington. That leadership component is key to stand out. And that character and that communication skills, that confidence is important to separate a recruit from another potential recruit, and very key in being recognized by college coaches, college recruiters, is that leadership skill development. So that planning process over the next 20, 30 months is going to happen in that session 2, and how to attack that plan and how to strategically go after the schools that student athletes are interested in to pursue in the top 5 lists and so forth. Session 3 would be Sunday, December 18th. That's focusing and sticking to your map. So when we meet in October, we're going to meet approximately 8 weeks later. So from October to December, it's check-in time. How have you progressed over the past 8 weeks in your plan? How's it going? How's it working? Let's focus on some details. Where are you academically in the first quarter of the year? How did you do academically in the first quarter of the year? Second quarter is about to end. How are you going to finish your second quarter, right? Athletically, where were you in August athletically? Your height, your weight, your speed, your position skills, your technical skills. Where were you? Where were you in October, from August to October? And now it's December. How are you doing in December? And what are you going to do moving forward after December 18th to develop your athletic skills? Leadership skills development, we're going to introduce the leadership versus detractor scale. And that's something that is important so that you can stand out, like I mentioned earlier, to college coaches and college recruiters. Coach Asai, anything to add for session 2 and 3?
Yeah, I'd like to suggest that on session 3, that leadership versus detractor skill, that particular model has been introduced years ago through our company when we did GamePlan Academy here for a number of years. And that particular presentation is about identifying if you're really a leader or you're a detractor of becoming a leader. And very fun workshop, because what it does, it really spells out what kind of behavior you are illustrating your son or your daughter, whoever wants to be playing in college. What are the behaviors and their thought patterns and their words, and what are they doing with that? And because everything, well, this whole idea about getting on the radar and receiving a scholarship is based on having to have a college coach feel confident enough to say, I want to give you a $30,000 to $40,000 scholarship or more per year. And if if I'm in that position to give a scholarship, I want to choose someone that has the ability to make me feel, as a person giving a scholarship, confident that he or she has the ability to be a leader. And this particular session is one that breaks the ice, that suggests, where are you at with your behavior? Where are you at with your thoughts? Where are you at with your words? Because those things tie into whether you have the ability to create a relationship with the coaches, the ability to actually contribute in a positive way at that college. Now, I'll leave you with this, particularly with this session. The reason why Tua from St. Louis is able to do what he's doing is because he's identified the thoughts, the behavior, and the words necessary to be leaders, so that college coaches are able to see it and say, I want that. So the question remains is that, how are you able to develop that? Is Kahuku able to do that for you? Is whatever school that you go in is able to do that for you? Are you doing that at home? We believe that this type of session will support you all. That this particular session will help you uncover some of those things that would help your son develop a better confidence about themselves.
Coach, let's keep it real. Let's be very, very straightforward and honest and forthright. There's a lot of good football players out there that can play quarterback, running back, linebacker, wide receiver. I'm talking guys from the athletes that can ball from Los Angeles, Texas, New Jersey, Florida, Ohio. Boys can ball all over the country. How important is that leadership skills to help you stand out and be able to have a conversation with a coach and build confidence in the coach that you're their guy?
Well, it's extremely important. You know, I mean, these coaches are, if you really want the USC, and if you got a top school like USC or Notre Dame or bigger schools like that, Michigan, I don't know, I mean, Alabama for that instance, these coaches know exactly what kind of student athlete they want. You know, they do not want the kind of kids that they have to babysit. And so these skills, leadership-wise, is critical. I mean, they essentially want to bring in a guy that is thinking like them, is acting like them, that has the professionalism like them. You know, I mean, it becomes to that detail. And so if your young men, families, want that kind of experience, you got to act that way, be that way now. I'll be real right there. If you're not acting and being that way or thinking that way now, then you might as well go to a different school. You know, go to some place where it's okay to screw off. It's okay to not go to class. Yeah, you can go to JC for that. But if you want the radar opportunity, getting a scholarship opportunity like it was for Sojay, yeah, like it is for Tua, you better start recognizing what attributes are important, so that college coaches are able to say, I'm confident, this is the guy I want. So that's my take on it.
So being that 2%, right, Coach?
You bet, absolutely. I mean, so that 2% that Coach Kavika is suggesting is that if you want a Division I scholarship, there's only 2% in the nation that will actually get a Division I scholarship. 2%, ladies and gentlemen. I mean,
not much at all.
Not much at all. So, Coach Kavika, if you're suggesting you want me to be real, that's the reality of it. You know, so Kahuku says that they want to have double digits from that coach there. He says, I want double-digit Division I scholarship for our people at Kahuku. I just want you all to know this. It's unheard of. That's not going to happen unless they take this kind of program, in my opinion. They've got to start earlier. They got to start earlier with understanding what the makeup is in order for you to compete in the high level, to be the 2%er. And the 2%er is having the mindset of a leader that know how to deal with it. Because once you have that mindset of being a leader, the academic athletic part of it and the development come easy. It comes easy because the mindset leads it. And that's all in the leadership section. And so, you know, is it impossible to be a double digit at Kahuku of Division I scholarship signees? No, it's not impossible. But as soon as people drink from the POG, and I call it POG, P-O-G, juice, not Kool-Aid, POG, of that, it is important to be the 2% when you're young and then gradually learn how to develop other skills along the way. Then you'll be able to understand that you will be the 2%er and the one at Division I come your signing date on your senior year. So it really is that important. I don't think people recognize that gives enough acknowledgement to the fact that it all starts with leadership ability. Leadership ability from the mind, having the mindset to be the person that they should be. So, and it could be Division II, III, or NAIA, whatever that case is. All these coaches in different levels want the same kind of guy. They want the same person as at Alabama. They want the kind of person that understands how to effectively communicate, how to handle conflicts, how to be a leader in front of people, all that. And that is what GamePlan Academy will do for your son.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you for sharing that. It starts with the leadership, because if academic skills and athletic skills are necessary for a college scholarship, taking a leadership approach to developing your academic skills, taking a leadership approach to developing your athletic skills is what will separate you from the rest, because that mindset will help you excel in the classroom and help you excel on the field and in the weight room. Now for sessions, let's see, for sessions 4, going into session 4, Sunday, January 22nd, that's a huge session, because that's exactly 6 months from today, or 6 months from August. And looking back over the past 6 months, first quarter is already done. Hopefully second quarter grades should have came out, or if they didn't come out by then, it's going to be coming out very soon, towards the end of January. Immediately, an evaluation of your academic skills over the past 2 quarters will be able to be done. And that's huge to help you with your list. Obviously, if academically you're at a 3.0, 2.8, there are some schools that you're probably going to have to cross off your list, i.e. Ivy League schools, highly academic schools like Stanford, and other private schools. If you're not able to maintain a high GPA, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, obviously. If there's a player that is just as tall, just as strong, just as fast as you are, and their GPA is coming in at a 3.5, 3.7, and you're at a 2.8, 3.0. So anyway, January is a great time to evaluate your academic skills, a great time to look at your leadership skills. What have you done in leadership positions, leadership opportunities? What are you doing to build your extracurricular activities? And then with the leadership detractor scale, there's going to be some homework from the previous month where you'll be doing some presentations to your family, to your classroom. Maybe you can develop some of your leadership skills and report back in January how that went. Athletically, it's a big time in January to plan your summer football camps. If you're a class of 2019, you got two summers left. So we got next summer, 2017, and you get the final summer, 2018, and you're done. For you class of 2020, you got 3 summers. That's it. 3 summers to build relationships, showcase your skills, and be able to develop relationships with coaches to say that you're their guy, and to earn that scholarship, get on the radar. So January 2017 is a great time to start planning financially, to do some showcasing events, choosing strategically the right events to attend and participate in, planning your rest of the year. If there's SAT prep classes to sign up for, ACT prep classes, tutoring, to prepare yourself for the second half of your freshman or sophomore year. Session 5 is in March, March 19th, building relationships with the top 5 school coaches. So this is where you're going to roll up your sleeves and start doing some work. You're going to build your lists. You're going to find the coaches' names and their emails and their phone numbers, and you're going to start calling. You're going to start developing social media to communicate with coaches, building a relationship with coaches. This is where the real work begins, and it's all about getting to know coaches, them getting to know you, and starting that relationship to get you on the radar. And getting on the radar is the first step. And like I mentioned earlier, with hundreds and hundreds and thousands of athletes across the country, how do you get on the college coach's radar? It all starts by developing that relationship. We're still developing academic skills, athletic skills, and leadership skills in session 5. The final session is in May, and that's a parent conference. So in May 2017, we're going to evaluate the past year, evaluate your academic skills, your athletic skills, and your leadership skills, evaluate what your plans are for the summer coming up, and evaluate moving forward over the next 20 to 30 months, what's your final strategic plan in getting on the radar and trying to earn an opportunity to receive a college scholarship. And then once you receive offers or scholarships, how do you leverage, maximize, and choose the right school for yourself and your family? Coach Josiah, those last 3 sessions, sessions 4, 5, and 6?
Yeah, it's kind of a wrap up for the entire 2020-2019 class. After helping your sons and those that are interested in getting on the radar, the idea of creating the vision and putting all the vision on in front of you in terms of how to be detailed, finishing strong, and then so it's a good wrap up at the end. What I believe that most parents would probably ask is, okay, what's next after that? I'm confident that once you go through the 6 coaching sessions, and you parents are probably doing that already at home, and on some of the things that we'll be speaking about, but we'll take it more in detail. What I look at what we're doing is we're actually affirming some of the things that you're actually doing at home if you are. And at the last 2 coaching sessions, we're just sort of looking at it and saying, is this really what you want? Because if this is really what you want, the next step of getting into the sophomore year, you got to hit the ground run much more faster. Because you, as Coach Kavika stated to you already, there's 3 summer sessions, 3 summer opportunities where you got to be on a radar and they get offered. So, so what we're doing with your sons is basically is mapping out the foundations and then solidifying your goals and then getting a commitment as to how far you want to take this. And then giving you some steps in the summer, what you got to take. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the opportunity to help you get going with the next summer's getting on the radar.
Okay, thank you, Coach Asai. So at this point, what I want to do is go over the criteria to be interviewed and accepted into the program, the expectations, and also the cost of the program. So what I want to do is review with everyone on this broadcast the actual enrollment forms and the agreements that families and players would agree. And let's start with the program agreement. Okay, so the GPA program agreement, academic goals I mentioned earlier. These are some of the goals that student athletes and their families must commit to. And first and foremost is the GPA of 3.3 or higher. Commit to achieving an SAT score of 1150 or higher, ACT score of 23 or higher, be proficient at the academic skills that we provide and coach in the sessions. And we want players or student athletes to be able to do the daily academic studies, the everyday routines, master the study habits. So having the commitment, players must commit to striving towards these achievements. Athletically, players have to, get on the appropriate college radar. If you're a Division I athlete, great. Let's get on the Division I radar. If you're a Division II athlete, Division III, NAIA, junior college, whatever the right fit is for you athletically, let's make sure you're on the right radar. Maximize the opportunities on the radar. Learn how to increase and leverage scholarships offers. Once offers are received, how to manage the offers, and how to communicate effectively with coaches to build a relationship. Leadership goals, knowing all the levels of the leader and detractor scale. We do role play in our coaching sessions to test and evaluate how well student athletes are doing with their leadership skills and how they're contributing as a leader and mastering leadership language. The program outcomes by participating. Go ahead, Coach Asai.
Yeah, I apologize. I just wanted to make a mention on the academic section. I know that if you're 2020 or 2019, the SAT and ACT requirement or the goals is simply one that you will not take that until you are nearer to your junior year. So we understand that that particular SAT and ACT test score, you don't necessarily need to be that in your freshman year or sophomore year. However, do know that that's the projection where you need to be.
Right. So as far as PSAT, taking SAT courses, practice tests, just know that your commitment in this program is by your junior year, you're going to achieve a score of 1150 or 23. Is that correct, Coach Asai?
Correct. Very good. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Very good. Now, the outcomes of participating with GPA or GamePlan Academy is first and foremost getting student athletes on the college recruiting radar. There's really no opportunity for a college scholarship if you're not on the radar. So getting on the radar means that you're being evaluated by a college coach. And what the radar means is coaches have you as a potential recruit, meaning they're taking an active look at your abilities. They're going to look at your highlight video once you create one. They're going to look at your email, open it up, take your voicemail, answer the voicemail. When you call, they're going to answer your call, and they're going to communicate in a way that they're interested in evaluating you and that you are part of the evaluation process to be considered as a recruit for that coach. So it's very clear we understand what the radar is. And the radar is you're actively being looked at by a coach. The coach has you on his list, and he's continuing evaluating you as a potential recruit. Coach Asai, anything else to define what it means to be on the college recruiting radar?
No, you explained it perfectly.
Okay. The second thing in participating in our GamePlan Academy is that each student athlete, each family has a personalized college recruiting game plan or MAP, a major academic and athletic plan. And this is important because every family is different, every player is different. Some of you watching the broadcast are D1 athletes, like I mentioned. Some of you are looking for top tier D1, FBS. Some of you are looking for second tier D1, AA. But we're all different. We all have different academic skills, athletic skills, leadership skills. So each student athlete and their family will have a personalized, individualized college recruiting game plan, which consists of a student athlete evaluation, looking at the best college division for the student and their family, an assessment, look at the 4S or the I test, personalized timeline, where you should be as a freshman and sophomore, your short-term goals, long-term goals, looking at some radar opportunities, looking at the best camps. So a lot of this can't all be covered in the 6th session in detail, but having a nice general overview over the next 6 sessions is important to look at each and everyone's individualized game plan. And we're going to try our best to give you enough to prepare you for your freshman and sophomore year. This gets really critical once you enter your junior year, and we have game plan for juniors, a GamePlan Academy for juniors. But this is an introduction of what that looks like for you freshmen and sophomores. Academic, athletic, leadership skills development, we talked about that. Skills development, real briefly, we'll talk about how the leadership skills are able to transition to after college and into your career and personal success. So this is for the junior product. I should have brought up the freshman and sophomore product. So this is for August to May of 2017. There's going to be a total of 6 sessions for the year. Sorry, I brought up the wrong screen for you guys. 6 sessions for the year. And the sessions are a combination of online and face-to-face. And they're going to be Sundays, 3rd Sundays at 6 p.m. And months you already saw already are August, October, December, January, and March and May. Okay. So let's get rid of this one. Okay, the program costs. This is for our junior product for those that are currently in the class of 2018. So class of 2018 are meeting 3 times a month. So they would have a total of 30 sessions, and the cost for them would be $2,700 for 30 sessions, and this is before financial aid. So obviously for families that cannot afford the $2,700 for the class of 2018, they would apply for scholarships, and there's also payment plans that we can provide to those families to make it affordable. The application fee for 2019 and 2020 is $100. Administration fees are $300, and all of the sessions together is $500 for the 6 sessions. The total cost for 2019 and 2020 is $900, and that's before scholarships and before any financial aid. So for families that obviously cannot afford the $900, Education First being a nonprofit organization, we have programs where families can apply for scholarships and grants to see how we can make it affordable for them. Okay, so let's move on to the partnership agreement. Let's see. Okay, so this is what I was supposed to pull up. I'm sorry. Here's the class of, this is the 2019 and 2020 partnership agreement that I should have been putting up, but I basically filled it in with the other one. So $900, there's the partnership agreement. Let's look at the program agreement. Oh, that is a program agreement. We need the partnership agreement, sorry. Here we go. A partnership agreement. So Participating in our program, families and students must commit to have a desire to play college football. Of course, Education First does not promise a college scholarship, but we are committed to providing the training and teaching student athletes and their families how to get on the college recruiting radar. And depending on student athletes' academics, athletic skills, and leadership skills, it'll be in one of the conferences that best fit that student athlete. It's very important that to participate in this program, you be interviewed. There's some of you watching this broadcast that have already been interviewed or been recommended by Coach Asai through relationships and interviews and communication with your families, that the interview has been completed or a positive recommendation has already been given. Participants in this program must maintain a minimum 2.5 overall GPA, minimum SAT score in your junior year of 900 or 17, and you need to meet the criteria of a recruiting guideline time-wise, that there's enough time to help you through this process. For example, we're no longer helping seniors in the class of 2017 come to the end of August. So come August 30th, we were no longer having programs for seniors of class of 2017. Understand that the program is a 10-month commitment and requires active attendance, and you must have transportation to attend face-to-face sessions or computer access to participate in online sessions. Missing a session is discouraged. Missing 2 or more sessions in a month or chronic absenteeism, you may be dismissed from the program. You're responsible for your skills development and partnering with parents and family and coaches and teachers, and helping a support group to help you develop your skills. You're committed to developing your skills. There's an honor code that you have to follow, basic honor code that you see at the schools, school honor code and rules. You're not required for Education First to monitor your social media, but you have an opportunity for Education First to monitor your social media to see how appropriate your social media is. And if we have recommendations to clean up your social media, we'll make it more appropriate, because that's a great way to communicate with college coaches. And many college coaches have already expressed that they do check social media. Education First does have grants, scholarships, and financial aid. And for those who qualify, you have to complete an application first to qualify. And sometimes you might have to provide supporting document to receive financial aid. We have a media waiver because we do a lot of picture taking and videos of our programs and sessions. And then we have the enrollment agreement and the program calendar and the course catalog and the GPA enrollment agreement. So these are the minimum requirements to participate with the program. The costs are also listed. Coach Asai, anything to add? Any questions, Coach Asai? I think I got you on mute, Coach. I can't hear you there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I put it on mute.
There you go. Yeah, go ahead.
I think you've discussed the appropriate points of the partnership agreement, the commitment, the deliverables, etc. So I know that we're almost time spent with almost 3:20 with this program and this coaching session for orientating moms and dads about this. But I just want to know you did a good job with that one.
Okay, well, I know we kind of went through the forms and the minimum requirements and the cost of the program. I think it's very important that families understand that the $900, the way it's broken down is there's an application fee of $100. Once a student athlete and their family is accepted into the program, then there's a payment plan that's available to help with that $800 balance. If families need to apply for financial aid or scholarships and a payment plan, there's a form for that to help them to make it affordable. If for any reason an applicant applies to our program and they're not accepted to our GamePlan Academy, their $100 application fee is refunded. So there's no penalty if an application is submitted with a $100 application fee and a family is denied. They would get the $100 back. And I think more importantly than the financial cost of the program is that Education First is doing this to help families and to help families prepare for a realistic and strategic opportunity to get on the college recruiting radar, to have the opportunity to build relationships with college coaches, to receive a college scholarship, and then finally how to maximize that college and leverage the college scholarships available. And I think for the most part, for families that qualify for this program and are interested in participating, I don't want finances to be the reason why they're not participating. So Coach Asai, you've mentioned in our conversations with Education First, that there's opportunities to make it affordable for families.
Yeah, speaking collectively of the parents that are on this call, although the cost was reflected to the way that Coach Kavika has outlined it to be, there is financial aid for you as was suggested and recommended for this group to take full advantage of this program. So congratulate you. And I don't know if Coach Kavika reiterated that with you, but just want you to know that more information will be given to you on the next steps of getting on that August 21st call. So
outstanding. All right, thank you, Coach Asai. Any closing statements? Any conclusion?
No, not at all. I look forward to working with you all, and congratulations to being a part of this program from the 9th grade 2020-2019 class. For this Pylon group that has been made special for you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Good
Thank
scholarship.
you for participating, and look forward to speaking with all of you soon. Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye now.